What is good, guys? Welcome back to another trade recap. Now today I took one winning trade. There was a really good trade to take today that I did actually miss, so I'll be breaking down that trade as well. And I took my winning trade later on in the session. So a lot to unfold in this session, so let's jump into it and break down the session. So coming into the day, I was obviously leaning slightly more bullish. As you can see, this right here is all-time highs. We are extremely high in the range, and I'm just expecting price to keep pumping. You cannot look for shorts until proven otherwise. Now, I did actually catch a short today, so I'm going to break down exactly how you can be shorting at all-time highs and use that to your advantage. So if you look here, let's go to market open. We had all-time highs above. And let's see how price displaces through all-time highs. So you see, we come straight back up, straight to all-time highs, and we see this instant strong sort of Judas swing up from just market open at 9:30, swing, sweep the highs, and then start coming back down. We left behind this trend line liquidity. On top of that, if you look at the hourly time frame, we had equal lows right here. You see this red line, this is the equal lows indicator. We had equal lows resting below. Remember, liquidity is everything, so I've always had in the back of my mind I'm open to shorts, because if you look on the higher time frame here, what do we have below? High time frame trendline liquidity, a day to low, triple relative equal lows, and also a 4-hour intermediate term low. So very strong sell side draws. So, of course, as well, we had nice trendline liquidity here resting below. All of these stacked lows resting below here that I could have seen price run very easily. Now, this was the first potential setup here. I didn't like this initial setup. I think this was straight off of all-time highs. I didn't like this. But right here, you see how we came down, and we then got this pullback. And there was a potential 5-minute continuation short here, but we didn't tap into this 5. So why was this short still valid? So this right here is the short position. So we inverse this gap, this 1-minute gap here, with very strong momentum. Let's look at the 5-minute. As you can see, sorry, the 5-minute. As you can see right here, we failed to tap into this 5-minute fair value gap. So why is this short setup still valid? The first reason you'd want to be taking this short setup is we've got all these stack lows here, this trendline liquidity that we're pushing down towards. Look on the hourly time frame. We also have this super obvious hourly low. Very strong draw on liquidity right there. And these are the reasons you would want to take this setup. Now, this is a very good setup. We are not delivering from that 5-minute, but if you take your fib tool from the swing high of the range to the swing low, look how we're delivering there from the 50%. Absolutely perfectly, and this is a condition I use on a daily basis, so make sure you're using the fib tool to see where we are delivering from. And also here, if you look on the 5-minute time frame, we also put in a change in the state right here. As you can see, we closed below these downward candles before that were formed before sweeping buy side liquidity. So we put in a CISD, we then came up, respected this, and then got our short set up. So I faded this setup. This was the setup I faded. Reason being, I wanted my main draw here was the low of this trendline liquidity, which was right here. I wanted a stop loss that would be protected, so I wanted to place my stop loss at the high here. And this was the risk to reward I was dealt with. I wanted a better close for like a 1-to-1 risk to reward. This is the risk to reward I was dealt with, so I faded this setup due to the risk to reward. But in hindsight, it was a really bad decision. I should have just moved to break even when we hit that low and then simply targeted further. I mean, obviously it's easy to say in hindsight when you see the trade play out like this, but this definitely stung for sure. Fading this setup, as it would have been a huge trade, but that's just something to journal, something for the future. But the bottom line is, if you saw that setup, realized it was a super good setup, then that is the main thing. So moving on, price actually decided to have a nice strong pullback after sweeping this hourly sell side. I was still bearish at this point. We had really strong bearish displacement, and we also had all this trendline liquidity below, as I mentioned. So I was still leaning bearish for the time being. So if we look at price here, we came up and we tapped into this 15-minute CISD, which we put in with this close through these upward candles. We're also delivering from this 15-minute fair value gap. And if you zoom down to the lower time frame, where is the key level inside of our point of delivery? And it's obviously this high right here. This high is where you want to see price sweep, almost turtle soup this, and then start to displace lower. which leads me on to why this first 1 minute was not as good. So as you can see right here, we got a little bit of accumulation, we manipulate higher, and then there's a potential short here. Yeah, so here's the potential short, which you can see ends up actually failing. So inverse fair value gap here on the 1 minute time frame. This setup fails, and this is because we've just left behind key buy side. That's the reason. That's most likely the reason this setup failed. Why would you be taking this setup? Obviously, we have sell side below. We've left behind this unfilled 15-minute fair value gap, which is our draw on liquidity for these short positions. So what did I wait for? I waited for price to remanipulate. Thankfully, we didn't hit the 15-minute gap, which made my trade idea so much cleaner. Price then manipulated up to sweep our level of buy side liquidity. As you can see, we left behind this 1 minute bullish fair value gap. And then we closed through this with super nice momentum. And I'm going to talk about my stop loss placement here. So as you can see, price closes there, you enter on the candle close. Stop loss resting at the high of this wick. And then simply target roughly a 1-to-1 here. I did trail my stop super tight the second we hit this unfilled 15 minutes. I did get TP for just slightly less than 1 hour there. But yeah, when you hit that key area, you want to be aggressive taking profits. I think I was just below the top of this wick. I was a 30-point stop, 30-point take profit for this trade. Pretty set 1-to-1. So as you can see, it did pretty much hit. But why would I have my stop loss at this wick and not at this wick? Now, price has already came back, and as you can see, we've delivered from this gap right here. This is what you call an inception gap, the gap down that we form when we're inversing a fair value gap. So this high right here, if we're truly going to continue bearish, should not be revisited. So this is where you can put your hard stop, because if price trades back to this high and hits this high, this tells me, okay, my trade idea is invalid. We should not come back to this high that's delivered us from the inception gap. Hopefully that makes sense, and that's why I placed my stop loss there. But yeah, this was the trade I took today. Super clean, 1-to-1 risk to reward trade. Very good fade on this setup, and also a fade on this setup in hindsight looks bad, but I had my reasons for fading this in live time. Again, caught my piece of the pie, and then as you can see, price action. Looks like we are finally potentially going to run this channel line liquidity, which I'll see. But yeah, we did have some nice bearish price action in PM session. Let me know in the comments how you guys got on today. Make sure to join my Discord. It's one of the top links in the description. You can ask me questions whenever you want to in the server, and also you can trade with me in live time and ask me questions about the markets in live time if you wish to get involved in that as well. And I do run free streams every single Monday, so get yourselves in the Discord. Any questions, let me know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more daily YouTube videos, and I'll see all of you guys in the next video.